I just wanted to make a video talking about narcissistic spiritual endurism, which is something that I suffered from tremendously. So endurism is basically the idea that you have to endure something and you can't escape it. It kind of like a martyrdom complex, or I know I had like a messiah complex of like, oh, it's my job to fix this situation. And when you're a scapegoat, that message is actually implanted into you by the family that you are the problem. So it's actually quite logical to assume if you are the problem, then you can also be the solution. But you are not actually the problem, right? So if that's a lie, then the notion that you can fix everything is also a lie. And I read something on a blog that said, you didn't break them, so why is it your job to fix them? And that really hit me. Like, I'd spent my whole life thinking it was my job to fix my mother, who has, I think, borderline personality disorder. I also thought it was my fault that she had it because of the family narrative that their marriage was wonderful and perfect before I was born, and then everything was wonderful and perfect while I was a baby, and then the story stops. That's just where they stop talking. So then my logical next step was like, well, everything was perfect and wonderful. I was born, I was a baby, and now it's not perfect and wonderful, clearly. Therefore, I am the one that made it not perfect and wonderful. So part of my healing has been realizing that it's impossible that that story is true. There's no way it was perfect and wonderful before I was born. She's had this mental illness her entire life, and obviously part of the illness is to concoct these facades and lies about how things are. So if your parents did a similar thing to you, it's not true that like you are the cause of them behaving in this dysfunctional manner. It is their choice to behave the way that they behave, and you cannot make someone be abusive by being a bad child, even if that's what the story is that they're telling you. So I think that relates to the messiah complex of like, oh, it's my mission, you know, it's like my karma to fix these people, and that's kind of what I told myself, but it's not true. Your only karma is to do what you have chosen in this lifetime, which, yes, it was to be born into that situation, but it's not your job to influence anyone else's life journey, right? So you just have to be responsible for yourself, and that also means protecting yourself from abusive people. So I have gone no contact. I just feel like so much relief from it, because I fought myself for so long with the spiritual endurism of I have to stay. I don't know, I just thought that I had to stay, and I didn't really have a logical reason for it. So I just wanted to talk about that, because I think that a lot of us martyr type people kind of get that mindset of like, oh, I need to stay and help people. It's like, no, priority number one is to get yourself safe, which means away from the abusive people. And then absolutely you can dedicate your life to serving others in whatever way does not compromise your own safety and emotional and psychological well-being. Because there's many, many ways you can give your love and talent to this earth besides trying to heal your mentally ill parents or partner or whoever it is. So it's not your mission to fix these narcissists because you did not break them. This is not your job. You need to detach from that idea that you had that you broke them and that you are responsible for fixing the situation. And if anyone tells you that it is your responsibility, it's simply untrue. That's just a narrative that they're pushing because they don't want you to leave the family, or they don't want to take responsibility for their role in the situation. Because if you are truly dealing with an abusive person that has some type of personality disorder or is displaying narcissistic traits, it is not only not your job to fix them, but it's actually impossible for you to fix them. because they have their own free will and they have their own choices that they're going to make in their life, and you can't change that. So your job is to work on your endurism martyrdom complex and make your first priority your own safety and your own well-being. Thank you for watching.